Hi there. Hope you guys are well and you're good and everything is working out very well for you. Well, today I'm talking about something that we tend to confuse a lot. Sex and intimacy. Okay, so let me get on with it quickly. You'd find that this is where we normally clash between us men and women because for most people, okay, it involves penetration. We'll talk about intimacy just now. Now the clash is that you'd find that more women, they want more intimacy, and more men, they want more sex. So in order for a woman to be more comfortable and to give it all in sex, they require more intimacy for them to get into sex. And you find that for men, we need more sex in order for us to be intimate. So it becomes a bit of a problem and a clash. So let's quickly talk about what intimacy is. One, intimacy talks about closeness. It talks about you as a couple being attached to each other. You know, the attachment, the companionship, you know, when you spend time together, the things that you will do, the mutual affection, meaning that when I show certain things that resembles affection, let's say I brush your hair and, you know, I play with your beard and I rub you on the chest, I lie on your chest, I play with your hands. Those are things that shows affection, but it needs to be mutual, meaning that that's why women will say, us men, we are cold, because she will be doing this, playing with her ear, and we don't do anything in return. And then we just sit there and probably enjoy or get confused. Where is this going to go to? And some of us, we tend to think, oh, okay, that means the person now wants to have sex. And in most cases, it's not true that when a person, in particular women, are intimate, that they want sex. They can be intimate without having to end in bed or end with a penetration. But also, intimacy talks about warmth that you will feel when you are around your partner. So it talks about the time that you spend together. It talks about the closeness that you have, but moreover also the fellowship that you will have as a couple. Like, how do you relate with each other, either in front of people or not in front of people? Okay. And then intimacy now, for women, we're talking about talking, touching, sharing of thoughts, you know, not just what has happened, but the deep thoughts, the feelings, the dreams, the hugs, you know, random hugs. Don't hug me because I'm crying. The kisses that don't necessarily lead to sex. Then have sex. But for most men, you'd find that we prefer our desserts first. Can we have sex and then we'll talk about, you know, the intimacy thing. So intimacy is a process. It takes time. It develops as you get to know each other, as you understand each other's love language and preferences, as I understand where do I have to touch you and where are you not comfortable to be touched. So sex is possible without intimacy, but good sex is not possible without intimacy. Let me repeat that. Sex is possible without intimacy, but you can never have good sex without the intimacy. So when you have the intimacy, it can lead to good sex as opposed to just like the penetration and then everything is over and done and you get there. Now, there are some few things that I want to run through that kills intimacy in relationships. Number one is the digital distractions. You know, always being on the phone, chatting to other people that are not part of you guys here. You're sitting together, but you're talking to the world out there. That just kills the intimacy. And it also, you'll find that one person now is busy on the phone and then the other one is social media, all these other things. So the digital space kills the intimacy at all. You'd find people, you're there in the dinner table, but they're on the phones, you know, talking to other people, and they even talk to themselves. Because you'd find that you and I, as my partner, we're sitting across each other, but we are in different groups. And both of us are in the same group with other people as well. And we're talking with everyone else, responding to each other while we're sitting in front of each other, it becomes a bit crazy and stupid. And then the constant arguing. The more you argue, it's difficult to embrace and to be close to somebody that you're not feeling the vibe yakhe, because there's something that has killed that vibe with the arguments, the tension that is between you. And stopping flirting and teasing each other. You know, that walking down the passage, going to the room or bathroom, and then you just like, pa! Smack the bum there, and, you know, just grabbing her boobs. Or ladies just grab him in front there. It's just part of the intimacy. It's playing together. The flirting that you do with each other, it builds it up. It develops that process that I'm talking about. And obviously, if you don't spend time together, it's going to kill the intimacy between you guys. And it's going to make sure that you start growing apart and becoming stranger. And then the other one is the fear of rejection. You know, when you're thinking, I would like to be intimate and I would just like to lie on his chest, or I would just like to cuddle, hug her, and you're thinking, because of probably things that have happened in the past, and the person might be like, no, move away. That sense of rejection is something that kills. Obvious. But if you know you are in a safe space and you can be able to make a move, any move at any given time to your partner, it makes you comfortable to be able to be intimate. And then the short word syndrome, you know, you try to talk to somebody on the part of talking and sharing deep thoughts. It's like, what are your plans for future? I'm planning to be a teacher. And then it ends there. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Sharp. You know, like you cut your partner short while they try to engage you on something. So the short word syndrome kills the intimacy, and also the unfulfilled promises. There are a lot of people, they would make promises. No, we'll do this. We'll go on a holiday. No, I'll buy you this. Can we do? And then they never honor those. I'll come home early. They come home late. That just kills, you know, the vibe. The intimacy dies completely. And then the other one is dishonesty and unfaithfulness. You know, when you are being dishonest and you are cheating, you are lying, that, you know, builds resentment, which is the opposite of intimacy. A person would rather be away from you. And because also of these two things, the dishonesty and the dishonesty, also it applies with the finances as well, because I think that's another biggest area that we overlook. When a person is not honest and transparent with finances, and they are unfaithful in all their dealings for that matter, not necessarily sexually or cheating, it kills the vibe between the two couples. And you start now looking at each other differently from how you would normally look at each other. And then now, for us to understand the importance of intimacy in a relationship, we need to understand where it's coming from. Intimacy comes from God. God created that. Hence, even himself wants to be intimate with us. God desires to be intimate with us, and he wants us to have that personal, intimate relationship with him. He wants us to see him as our Father and as somebody that can be able to give us the warmth that we need in our lives, the comfort that we need, because intimacy gives that comfort. It gives the sense of security, and God can be able to provide those and know God's love language. So we need to understand how God operates, because when you understand him, it's easy for us to learn from him on how to even learn about our partners. And another thing, what God requires of us is that because he has demonstrated his love by giving Jesus Christ to die for us, he also expects us, in line with that same thought, to demonstrate our love for him by being obedient to him. And also, when you are in a relationship, you need to demonstrate your love not just by what you are saying, but also by your actions. So you need to be able to show your partner what you mean when you say you love them. And then the other one, when we talk intimacy with God, God is patient with us. We need to be patient with our partners. We need to explore and don't give up on God. And we need to explore and not give up on our partners. Explore how your partner loves to be loved. You know, explore how you can be able to do things for them that will be pleasing to them. Okay, and then we need to take time and show interest in the work that we do. So that's what God is doing with us. That's what He expects us to do with Him. But it's what is expected of us to do to our partners. We need to show interest. We show sympathy. We show love. We show care on what they are doing as, our partners. Now, if your intimacy has died, quickly, in the next 2 minutes that I'm left with, how do you now restore that intimacy back? How do you get that action? Just like the book that I have, How to Restore Resurrect Dead Sexual, Vibe. There's a book for that. But now, briefly talking on how to resurrect and restore intimacy that has died. Number one, you need to discover and work on yourself. Discover what you like. Discover what you prefer. I normally say if your partner is sitting and then they put their hands here and you don't like to be touched on your neck, move that hand and you put it here where you want to be touched, where you feel, like good at. So from there, if I had touched you here today and you move that hand, you put it here, and then I know you prefer to be touched here, next time I will touch you here. So you teach, but you need to be true to yourself and say, what makes me happy? Where do I find my tickle? Okay. And then the second thing is you need to put an effort on communication, because the minute there's no communication, it's hard for you to be intimate if there's no communication, because the biggest part of intimacy, as much as is the being sharing the same space, but it's also talking about the space that you are in, talking about what is going through your mind, because you can just sit on the couch, and no TV on, nothing. You guys sitting there quietly, no phones or nothing. Then out of that, you need to be able to share exactly what you feel, what you are thinking, and all that. All right. And then the other thing, to restore your intimacy, you need to be intentional about spending time with your partner. You need to be intentional. So it's not something that you can just say, I'm busy all the time. Be intentional and say, I'm going to spend time. If your guys are busy, always away at work, you set what I call date nights. At least once or twice a week, 1 or 2 days in a week where you can come together uninterrupted, with no kids, no phone, just you. 1 hour, trust me, it would make a difference. From there, it's going to build up, because the more you appreciate and you enjoy each other's space, it becomes easier for you to make time to spend together. And for men, please, guys, be romantic. Well, I'm not going to define what romantic is, but be romantic. Find out what your wife's interpretation and meaning of romantic be that. And women, please be sexy. Again, different men prefer different things, so I'm not going to put it out here and say what sexy is, but I promise you, men are weak in the eyes. So if you dress well, and you make sure underneath here, you always judged up. You don't have a donkey here and then a horse down there. It's balanced, If you've got a horse, can it be a horse right through? Can it be pleasant colors? What colors does your man love, appreciate? You put on those things, be sexy, make me want you every day. Not just because I'm horny and then like, boom, I want you. And then have a dual, but also a personal relationship with God. And then it makes it easier for you to go to God together, but also it makes it easier for you to go together alone. And then you need to manage and minimize arguments and fighting. Avoid things that will result to fights. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much. I'm Pastor X, and make sure to follow me on Facebook. And also we have a WhatsApp broadcast line where you can subscribe to, and you get our magazine for free, and you get motivational talks once a week. So it's beautiful stuff that you can do there. Just make sure that you send us your details, 083 3317350, and you can also use that line or our website www.xhm.co.za to buy one of my 10 books. God bless you and have a wonderful day ahead.